Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Good to have you back out there in YouTube and out on the podcast land. Great to see you all and hear you all again. Yeah, big day. Lots on. Going to get straight into today. Let's talk about last night. Didn't get a lot done. I did just basically upload the photos to Lightroom. The new video is going to be the supermoon. I think mid last month we had the supermoon, the biggest one of the year. Hadn't shot the moon before. Had a new lens that I wanted to play with, 300mm Super Takumar vintage lens. So I did a bit of work with that, and also the 55-200mm. So I've got some really nice shots of the moon. Also went down to a little bit of swampland, doing my daily exercise, and at the middle of the night, and then I got some nightscapes and a beautiful tree set up. Well, I do love my trees, and sort of like it's catching the moon. So pretty cool in that respect. I think it'll come up pretty nice. It's a pretty much one or maybe 2 or 3 shots of the moon. But I should have that video out this week. But just getting started on that, and I do have a lot of video about the prep on what I've got to do to go through and prep up for a video, how I go and check the spots first, and then come back and check all that sort of stuff. So should be a pretty interesting video, and I think I've got a fair bit of info on this one, so it'll be definitely a nice one sort of to see what it takes to sort of get a video done and how much actual effort goes into it. But lots happening in there, so very cool. Now, also while I'm on the channel stuff, there's a bit of a change in name. For some reason, the tax department, because obviously I'm not don't have 1,000 subscribers, so I don't make any money out of this. Because I wasn't bringing any money in, even though I put a ton of money into it, I don't get out, so they shut down my business name, which was the old one, which was 34 Fishing. So now I've changed it. So I've sort of changed the name of everything again. So it's going from Tigers Media. It's going to be 34 Media, because Tigers Media is already taken in Australia. So I figured it'd be better just to align all with the one business name. Makes it simple, a bit more simpler. A little bit of teething issues. I've got to go and change everything. I will go over to Teespring and put the new logo on everything and redo all that again. So if you were looking at something, you've got a limited edition, like I have with this one, before they cut it out. So fair few changes. I am trying to get it a little bit more professional. I've got to get the website going as well. That's something I really got to work on and get that up to date and get finished. But heaps happening on the back end, which I just need time to do. I just don't have any time at home to get anything done, and most of it, the only time I do have, I'm doing the videos and trying to get this stuff out here, so it's a little bit tricky. But we're getting there, slowly, no rush. Alrighty, so heaps, let's get into the big one. It's huge. Apple, last night, no calls, no nothing, just dropped the 13-inch MacBook, a new one for 2020. 13-inch MacBook Pro, $1,999 to $3,299 Australian. That's your price range. Now, it does have the new Windows 10th Gen processors in it, and that's fantastic. They are only i5s but you can option up to an i7 on the top range one. Now, the other differences really are you can go up to, I think it's 4.1 on Turbo Boost, which is the 2.3 gig i7, and that'll turbo boost up to 4.1. So that's an extra $300. So it's not too bad. It'll do up to 32 gigs of RAM. So that's $600. That's a $600 option. And I've looked at the 2 terabyte hard drive, which is another $600. It was $1,200 for the 4 terabyte, I think. So the 2 terabyte was pretty good to have in the unit for usable sort of memory. Now, that to go the top range one was $4,799 Australian. The biggest problem I have, we'll go into the other, what else I had in there. It also, where is it here? It's still got the Retina display, so no micro LED, which we thought about. The other thing is they've changed the keyboard to this new Magic keyboard. They say it's an upgrade, but really it's just fixing a problem. My 13-inch keyboard, I've never had a problem, so I don't know what the problem is. I thought it was only the 15-inch ones that had the problem. Maybe that whole range of keyboards did. But so it's not really an upgrade for me because the keyboard works fine. You just get used to a keyboard. I don't really type that mega much that it makes a bigger difference. And I can't see how people that are doing creative stuff really find it that much. If you're a coder, yes, then a keyboard makes a big sense, but I'm not thinking. Now the SSD is up as well. That's a faster. They're saying it's up to 3 gigabytes a second, which is pretty fast for the SSD. So that's pretty darn cool. So if you are going to upgrade your storage, that's probably a good place to spend a little bit extra money as well. So because having that super fast, it makes it a lot easier to get your photos in and out and upload and download and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Now, it's still got the 720p FaceTime camera, which is pretty stock standard. They, for whatever reason, they don't really care about putting a decent camera in. How do we not have a 1080p in there, which would be awesome. It would save a lot of issues in regards to guys doing streaming and stuff if they had a decent quality camera in there. I think that's definitely due. Now I've got a funny feeling it's still got four Thunderbolt 4 ports. Other than that, it's really not that stable. Main thing is it's got a little bit faster, heaps more grunt in the RAM and the new chips. So that's fantastic. It's quad core across the board. That's fine, but it just seems like they've missed the boat. The biggest downside on this, and it's just, I have no idea what they're thinking. They still have the epoxy Intel Iris graphics. And I went in there to see what Premiere Pro was like on that, and they don't even compare it. They put Final Cut Pro, which is their own program, which hardly anyone uses, and then some other, I think, didn't even have DaVinci Resolve or anything else. Had some sort of game. No one uses an Apple game. We all know that, and some other stuff. It was pretty average comparison actually. For Adobe, I know it's a pain in the ass to use, and that's all good. But it's the biggest one, and it's got the most features, and it's just easy because you've got all the different things that you can use to work for the whole business. So to not getting that extra graphics in there makes a big difference, because I'm guaranteed my Intel, as soon as I try to render stuff out, it's a pain in the ass on my Apple. It's super mega slow. I have the Intel Iris from mine's old, but it's still just not good. Everyone knows that the AMD was the way. That's why they put it in the 16-inch. For whatever reason, they haven't put it in this 13-inch. I can't see why they didn't put the 5300M at least as an option, or the top end range of the 13-inch. Give us an option. You've given us no options for graphics. It's just stupid. Apple, piss poor effort, I think. Other than that, it's still got a Retina screen. Like, everyone's going micro LED, mini LED's the one after that, or mini LED and then micro LED, whatever way it goes forward. There was talk that was coming out. It's still Retina. They're still trying to sell it as like a fancy thing. It's pretty much exactly the same as what I've got on my screen, which is Retina. So there's really not going to be that much difference. So it's not really a big selling point. So it's a little bit more powerful for money. Now you can go online and get one on my computer, which is fantastic. Mine works still perfectly, apart from when I'm rendering out graphics. And that's the only problem I have with it, is in video, and that's because the graphics is crap, the Intel Iris, and it's crap in RAM, and I can't upgrade the RAM. So whether the RAM in this is enough to help with your Premiere Pro, I'd say it's probably going to make it a lot better, but give us that option, the graphics, for us people that actually do this stuff all day, every day, can sort of add that in and make it a priority, so we make sure that we've got something that's really usable. And I think really this is just a wedgie in for the 14-inch. I think they're still going to bring out a 14-inch, but they've decided just to throw this out there to, I guess, let everyone just give just COVID. They couldn't release the 14. Let's just upgrade the 13-inch, chuck some parts in it, and make it look really good. And I think that's really all it is. I can't see this being a big release. It's just a stopgap, I guess, until they can get back to semi-normal. And then September, I think we should see a 14-inch. I can't see any reason why they would keep this as their thing. It's really not that too exciting whatsoever. Very, very disappointed. We were waiting for a decent 13-inch. I actually thought if they did come out with a decent graphics and then maybe like a micro LED in the 13-inch, that if it was at the right price point below the 16-inch, it would make it viable. But a 16-inch, where did I get that? Is 16-inch with a 5300 AMD in it. I can get that with the same specs for 5300. So it's about $500 more. I can get the 16-inch, that bigger screen. I get that awesome graphics and all the same specs as that. I would rather save an extra $500 and dump that into it than get the 13-inch. So if you're looking for a base level one, and that's a lot of the videos for today were the base level one. If you just want a base level one, then go the Air. The Air has got bigger storage. You get the 512 instead of the 256 as base. You can get the same RAM and update, and that'll be perfect. And that's all you need. You don't need. It really hasn't filled a hole. It's really just still floating in a space where it shouldn't be. There's not a defined. It should be a 14-inch. Put the graphics card in it at minimum, and I think that displays something. Yes, you could have left out and that, but if you had to put a decent graphics option in there with a base of a 5300 and then the top end of a 5500 and give them both them same options, the same as the 16-inch, it would have been a really good buy at that price. As it is, I can't really say. It's definitely something I'll be looking at. I'm still going to save up my pennies and go for that 16-inch because it's definitely better value than this for that real estate and to get the graphics. And I know I've got something that's just already proven. This is really, very disappointing. Come on, Apple, let's get this shit together. You sort of did well with the 16-inch and now you've dropped back down to your old ways of being pretty tired. Not good. So anyway, that's the 13-inch. We don't have to talk about that anymore. Hopefully we do get that 14-inch in September. Rightio. What else have we got on my notes? Rightio. Now, Apple's also, the legends that they are, dropped their Mac Pro wheels today. Now, the Mac Pro, it's out of the price range of pretty much most people and everything. And I understand how super expensive that was, from $20,000 to $50,000 for computers, just a crazy amount of money. And the displays and the stand, they copped a lot of grief, over $1,000 US for a stand. Well, now the wheels have come out. Now this is the wheels, so it's a portable unit. Now you get a $50,000 display. You're not going to put it on cheap plastic wheels, so they've come out with their wheels. They look fantastic, but they're just wheels. And I understand how people can go, well, just wheels. Why would you spend that money? Well, you've just blown $50,000 on a computer. A lot of people would say, why would you spend $50,000 on a computer? So they're $700 US, so $1,000 Australian, or actually more than that with the exchange rate at the moment, probably about $1,100 Australian for 4 wheels. They look solid, they look really well built. If you've got a Mac Pro, you can afford them, just chuck them on there, and it's going to keep Johnny Ivy happy. Yeah. There you go. It's an aesthetics thing, and I'm sure, as I said, if you've got the money to blow on a $50,000 computer, you've got no problems shelving out another $1,000 for epoxy wheels. So I don't see an issue. But it was, I guess, pretty funny. Unbox Therapy had their video, and he didn't say a word in the whole video. He just used facial expressions and sounds. It was pretty cool. It was pretty well thought out of the video, and I think he got his point across really, really well. But I thought, well, each to their own, and I think they'll still sell a packet of these things. Right, some positive, good stuff. The Adobe does done some great things. We had that 2 months off where you didn't have to pay if you remember, which was fantastic. I do appreciate it, Adobe. They also have the Adobe Creative Residency Program starting up. Now, applications got to go in by June. I've got to get a website before this so I can apply, because you need a website to apply to show your portfolio. But if you're in the media, video, photography, any sort of visual creative media, go check this out. It's available worldwide. They're doing either a commission or a project, so they'll commission you for a piece, or you can put forward a project and put a value on it, and they'll give you a value on it. Now, you can get anywhere up to from $500 to $5,000 US given to you to complete your project, which is friggin' amazing. If you've got a project where you're putting your heart and soul and you're doing something as a YouTube video, and it's a really big project, and you're putting a lot of time and effort that we generally 90% of the time we get nothing for, to even get $500 back, which would be amazing. That'd be my biggest paycheck. My biggest one was $400, I think, at the moment. To get $500 would be awesome. Up to a $5,000 check. If you put out a beautiful photography exhibit or something like that, you want to put your work out and go and put that in as a project, that'd be awesome. There's so much you could do. Definitely go check it out. Just Google Adobe Creative Residency Fund. It'll get you on, and you can start your application, see what you need to do, and get all that in there. So I thought that was really cool. Cheers for the boys at Anorama for letting us know about that. They're always good for a lot of info and sharing the wealth of knowledge around that they do. So that's really cool. So yeah, Adobe, again, awesome job. Do appreciate them. I struggled with their platform when I first started a year, or this time last year. I swapped over from Apple, and it really crushed me mentally. But now I'm getting better and better. Even my Photoshop, I had to go and change my logo, which I think the last time took me like 4 hours. I think I got it done in like an hour and a half today. So I'm slowly getting better, and I'm feeling more comfortable and happier. And I've got so many options. I can jump between whatever I need to use and create something that I need to do. So I think that's really cool. Now, over on the COVID side, I think it's this Friday, Australia, they should be announcing some big announcements we should hear Friday, depending on how many people sign up for that app, the COVID Safe app we have. Will I guess let us know if we're allowed to have some further restrictions. They're really looking at now. They want to ramp up our economy and get things back to work. A lot of states have had zero incidences or zero new cases in the last week, so that's been really positive. And now we've got to try and get back and try and save these businesses from going bankrupt. There are a heap going in America. There's another big brand name crashed today. We hear of it, see reports every day on YouTube about another brand that's crashing, and it's really sad. So, and there's a lot of people that work for these brands and have put their heart and soul into it. So it's really sad. Fingers crossed we can all we're on the path back to getting everyone back to work, and they don't have to go too much. So all good at the moment. Right, so China is suspected of delaying telling the World Health Organization about the pandemic just so they could hoard medical supplies. So that's what the Department of Homeland Security in the States is saying. They reduced exports in forms and stuff, so it didn't look like they were blocking exports or and tried to manipulate figures, so their imports of certain items, which is like masks and gowns and all that stuff, they basically, as soon as they found out, they went, we need to get all this stuff, and grabbed it, hid it, and then tried to dodge the figures so that World Health Organization, the WHO, it's probably easier to say, wouldn't see it and didn't know what they're up to. So pretty piss poor effort by them. What a bunch of scumbags. That is not good for that government to be doing sort of shenanigans like that. Look, I understand everyone's got to look after their family, and each government their nation is their family, but you've also got to, as a member of this planet, you've got some sort of thing to think about other people, I think. So that's pretty piss poor effort by them. And yeah, look, I think there's a growing caucus of countries that are banding together and they want answers off China. And I think China's going to have to actually answer up to this. This could affect them and their place in the scheme of things. And yeah, look, if they've done something wrong and it's stuff like this, well then yeah, they definitely should be punished. And whatever other countries get punished, Iran and all those Middle East, when they do something wrong, there's no reason that if these guys are doing something as stupid as what that is, well then they should also be punished whatever reason. And you know, that's how it's got to be, the same rules for everyone. So yeah, pretty terrible thing, I guess, and hopefully it's not true, but I got a funny feeling if they're coming out on the news and saying it, that the Homeland Security's got a fair bit of evidence up their sleeve. So yeah, very, very interesting. Rightio, and that's about it for another day. Yeah, disappointed. That's all I can say today with that MacBook. A little bit disappointed. What a shame. Could have been so much more of a nicer day. Anyway, I will see you all again tomorrow, Wednesday, hump day. Have a great day, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks for stopping by. Ciao. We're going that way. That way. See you tomorrow.